I'd like to welcome Team Whisper Energy to talk to us about what they were able to do this summer. Take it away, Team Whisper Energy.
Thank you so much, RC. Hello, we are Team Whisper Energy, and we are so excited to tell you about what Whisper is and what we did this summer. We love having technical issues, actually. That's the third point of our startup. But what Whisper is mainly focused on is actually with a wireless identification and sensing platform for energy reduction. So buildings can waste up to 30% of the energy that they're using, and our platform of wireless battery-free sensors is designed to look at different factors like occupancy, humidity, temperature, and be helpful in automating a building's HVAC system so that we can reduce that 30% by so much more. So along with energy savings, we focus specifically on water savings this summer in some of our projects. But first, I'm going to hand it off to Ayush so he can talk about his project.
Thank you so much, Lucy. So I was responsible for the data analysis. So I was provided with a data set that consisted of two tables. The first one was the energy assessments of various industries, including the yearly cost for electricity, water, gas, etc. And the second table consisted the cost savings solutions recommended to those industries. And my objective was to generate insights from the data to help us identify our potential clients to whom we could sell our products. For that, I converted the data into visualizations to easily spot the trends and derive insights. For that, I used the Power BI tool to generate the visualizations. This is despite having a very limited experience in this tool, as it is free for the businesses and it would be viable for Whisper in the future as well. On the next slide, you'll see the dashboard that I created. I made multiple iterations of this dashboard based on the feedback from Galen and self-exploration as well, and this is the end result. Now I will pass it back to Lucy to explain her project.
Thanks, Ayush. All right, so my project was about the water that comes out of your washing machine, which is called gray water, and whether or not it was legal or safe to use in an existing system. So the main restriction is that you cannot use gray water after 24 hours of its production, and that we want to avoid any pooling on the ground surface, and we avoid this by using a subsoil irrigation system. When using subsoil irrigation, you want to avoid vegetables or root crops because that gray water could come into contact with the parts of the food that you're eating, and we want to avoid that. You also can't use it to wash cloth diapers because of fecal matter, and you want to avoid using gray water after it's rained or the soil has been saturated. To the existing system, we modified it by adding some signage and creating some engineering modifications as well, which Camilla will touch more about. But the overall conclusion is that gray water is safe to use. It is below both the EPA and WHO bacteria upper limits for irrigable water, and it's safe to use on ground cover, shrubs, trees, and a lot of plants that don't touch the ground. So anything that has hanging fruit and doesn't have its roots on the ground, you are good to go with gray water. Now I'm going to pass it to Camilla so she can talk about her project.
Thank you, Lucy. As she was saying, we worked with laundry water use. First, we looked at the existing system that you can see the picture on the left, and we worked on identifying possible points for improvement. To pinpoint the most important ones, the configuration in the suction of the pump, the check valve in the discharge line of the pump protection, and the relative position between the pump and the tank were the most important points. Where in the right, you can see the models that we developed, changing some of the configuration of the existing system. On the bottom, you can see the configuration with a centrifugal pump. On the top, you can see the new configuration with the diaphragm pump. Now I'm going to pass it back to my teammate Ayush so that he can talk about his experience working for Whisper Energy this summer.
Thank you so much, Camilla. I would like to describe my overall experience as transformative. By working with Whisper and frequently visiting the startup garage, I have expanded my network, gained a deeper understanding of the startup operations, and acquired a new technological skill. And by working closely with Galen, I have understood the founder's mindset as well.
Oh, yes. And then I think that the experience would be best summed up by using the word grit. Galen is always taking calls, always has more to do, and just looking at him and all the other startup founders and all the amazing students that I've worked with this summer, I think you just need a lot of grit in this industry to hack it. What about you, Camilla?
Well, I think that my experience this summer could be described as deepening. I think I've deepened my knowledge both in the functioning of the startup world and a lot of things and little details into the pump configuration. So for that, I'm very grateful. And I'd like to end up by thanking you all for your attention. I leave here our contact information, and please feel free to reach to us if you have any questions or you have any project that you think would be good to touch base on. Thank you everyone so much.
Wow, you guys, what an amazing presentation. I really do feel like I better understand your time at the garage, but I would like to pass it to somebody who even more significantly understands your time at the garage, Galen from Whisper Energy.
Thank you. I have 9:05 checking time.
Yes, you have some time to thank your
All right.
students.
I've got time. Okay. First of all, well done, Ayush, Camilla, and Lucy. Very proud of you guys. Every time we get together and you guys talk a little bit more, I learn a little bit more about you, and I'm always impressed, as I was when I first saw your resumes. I'll start with you, Ayush, some personal comments. First of all, you have the longest commute this morning, so I'll start with you since it's late at night. You had a difficult project in that it was undefined, and that is the essence of entrepreneurship. Even when you think you have it figured out, you talk to a potential customer, you talk to an investor, they give you different feedback, or they say your idea is no good, or the market changes, or you have a new a power change politically, and that impacts regulations. Things are always changing. So I think that one of the big takeaways for you is that you had an undefined project, which for engineers can sometimes be difficult, and you persevered through that. You learned a new tool, a tool that I don't know how to use and was unfamiliar with. And from that, you gained some insights. You didn't mention it in your intro, but Ayush got we got some new insights about water. They use a lot of energy, and they're most in the assessment, the data that he was looking at, water intensive industries were received the highest recommendations to use sensors. So that is a target for me, and something that Whisper we need to take into account going forward. So good find, Ayush, very good find. Camilla, well, I'll go back to Lucy. Lucy, you're a great moderator. I think you got a second career, maybe as a business journalist, et cetera, if you don't want to go into the water business. But I do remember from our interview that you wanted to possibly look into water management. So I would definitely use this time that you spent the last few weeks learning about gray water. Put it on your resume. Don't be shy about it. If I can make any introductions to anyone going forward for the rest of your career, whatever that may be, I'm happy to assist. So I think the future is bright. And last but not least, Camilla, you had lots of experience in the oil and gas industry. When I saw your resume and spoke with you, I'm like, okay, she's definitely the one to lead this project. I think you were actually a little modest, even Lucy. I think both of you are a little bit modest in different ways about your abilities and skills. Nothing to be modest about. You guys are very sharp, communicative. I know it's a second language, but you went through English not being your first language, having to deal with a technical crowd as well as a non-technical crowd, and explain concepts in engineering in a way that I could understand. Par excellence, Camilla. And your home team won the Copa. I mean, that's just a great summer. So well done. I'm sure you had everything to do with it. I'm sure you had everything to do with Argentina winning. So well done. And I know from our first interview, Camilla, you said that you wanted to do your own thing one day. So hopefully I contributed towards that. And as I mentioned to Lucy and you too, Ayush, if I can be of any benefit to you going forward, you always have a contact. If you just need to call somebody, get a second opinion, I'm there for you. Any introductions I can make going forward for the rest of your careers, I'm available. And I look forward to seeing what you guys do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop the recording now, but I just want to say once again from the bottom of the VSG heart, thank you for your time with us this summer.
Good job, guys.